folks, welcome to In the Loop. I'm here today with Carly Carver of Buddy Sensory Exchange. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate you coming in this morning. We're going to talk a little bit about what this nonprofit is involved with. So I think to kind of kick it off, how did you become involved with Buddy's Sensory Exchange?
So Buddies is a relatively new nonprofit. We started, we got tax exempt status of December 2017, so brand new. I became involved in the volunteer community in Lexington, volunteering at different special needs and autism related events. I also have a 4-year-old son with autism, who was kind of the inspiration behind the nonprofit. I started attending these different activities and realized there was a pretty big breakdown between what insurance will cover for kids and what families can actually afford. So Buddy Sensory Exchange kind of came to be from that.
Awesome. So can you tell me a little bit about the actual work that the organization does?
Right. So our primary program is Buddy Sensory Exchange Program, which is essentially we provide sensory equipment like weighted vests, weighted blankets, noise reduction headphones to disabled children in low-income or at-risk families.
Okay.
So we have a grant cap of $500, and then we also get equipment donated to us. So we open up application periods 4 times a year where families can apply. We have an income limit of $40,000. We do make some exceptions, and families can apply for equipment, and we grant as much as we can.
So the primary focus with the equipment there, what are the benefits to the children and adult? Is it children focused primarily?
It is children focused.
Okay. So what are the benefits to the children of receiving this type of equipment? How does that help them?
So weighted blankets, for example, help provide input to the child, which helps them produce serotonin, which calms them down and helps them sleep better. Autistic kids in particular have a difficult time producing serotonin and calming down to sleep. So there's a lot of sleeping difficulties associated with autism. And then weighted vests kind of have the same concept. They help provide that input and it calms the child. So in school they could wear these vests and better focus and by default be able to interact with their peers better.
Nice. And the headphones?
Yeah, children with compromised sensory response systems tend to get overwhelmed in social settings or just with surrounding noise that you and I wouldn't quite be aware of. So the noise reduction headphones help cancel those out so the child can better focus and engage in their community.
Now I'm just curious, these are like Beats headphones where they plug into like an iPhone or something, or are they just sound deadening? Yes,
okay. Freestanding, just noise reduction, just big earmuff headphones.
Okay. Helps paint the picture a little better for me there. So you said your organization is relatively new here.
It is.
What would you say, and you've had beneficiaries already, there's been recipients. What would you say from their perspective is the biggest benefit they've received through Buddy Sensory Exchange?
So one of our applicants is a wonderful little girl, and she was awarded a weighted blanket. And we have our families do surveys for us so that we could see, how that equipment has benefited them. And she was one of our first recipients. And she was having a really difficult time sleeping. She's only getting a few hours of sleep a night. And because of the weighted blanket, the past 6 months, she's been able to get better sleep, and that's really helped her in school, be able to engage with her peers, pay attention in class better, because that sleep is important to all children. But special needs kids who have such a difficult time falling asleep, that weighted blanket really helped her.
Well, that's wonderful. The weighted vest, they wear those in the daytime. I'm just curious, going back to equipment for a second, do they go under their clothing or do they...
Either or. There's weighted vests, there's compression shirts also, but most of the kids, the weighted vests are just strap-on things that they put over their clothing, and just they make different vests that kind of blend in with fashionable clothing pieces, so they're not quite as noticeable in school.
Nice, very nice. As a new nonprofit, I'm sure one of your key drivers is figuring out, well, what are our goals? So let's look at a 3 to 5 year window. What are your goals for Buddy's Sensory Exchange over the next 3 to 5?
So our primary goal is to expand the sensory exchange program. Right now we are based in Ashland, Kentucky, and we accept applications from children within 50 miles of Ashland. We would really like to branch that out within the entire Commonwealth of Kentucky. So the primary goal is to expand that program. Second to that would be we are working on a community project. It is going to be in Ashland Central Park, and it will be a sensory garden. So our secondary focus is to have that project built by April 2019.
Awesome. I've been to the park. You know, it's an enormous park in downtown Ashland.
Mm-hmm.
So explain a little bit about what that element within the park will bring to the folks who are going to use it. What types of playground items are going to be there, and how does it benefit the folks who are going to be using it?
So the sensory garden is going to be beneficial to not just special needs children. It'll be beneficial to pretty much everyone. From a realistic standpoint, we are taking a pre-developed abandoned area. It's 83 feet by 108 feet. It was formerly the horseshoe area, and it's not in use. It's got concrete there, and we are taking that pre-developed area and turning it into a green space. So we're helping protect and restore Ashland Central Park. The sensory garden is designed around ADA garden guidelines, so it's going to be accessible from all points for people with mobility issues. We are actually constructing a ramp to enter into it, so as soon as you pull up, you'll have immediate access.
Nice.
The sensory garden itself will have different hardscape and different landscape elements. Some of the hardscape, we are going to construct a few sensory swings, adaptive swings in there. We're going to have some custom musical features so children can play drums, chimes, and then we're also making a big textured bed. So we'll have sand, washed river pebbles, different hands-on features that the kids can play with that are natural. Some of the landscape, we're going to add in a few more trees. We're going to add in some sweet bay magnolia, some dogwood trees. We'll have different sensory elements like herbs and lamb's ear. And then we'll have bee balm and blue oak grass and a lot of really fun landscape features.
So that's great. So it incorporates all of the sensory experiences into one central area. That's very, very cool.
It's going to be a great project.
Yeah, very nice. So that is the primary focus of Buddy's Sensory Exchange right now, is getting this in action.
Yes.
Taking it from ideas to execution phase. So I guess kind of what we can talk to our viewers about is, how do they get in touch with folks involved with the agency to do something about this, to help out?
Right, so we have a Facebook page, Buddy Sensory Exchange. You could also email us at buddytheautismshark@gmail.com. So right now we are reaching out to the community for volunteers to help us with construction. We're reaching out to different corporate sponsors, supply donors, different landscape and gardeners that want to help get involved. So right now the community can reach us on Facebook or email, and we'd really love to have more support with this project.
Awesome. So we've kind of talked through the program. Are there any other elements? Well, I guess actually there is one more thing. You just mentioned in the email address that it's Buddy the shark?
Buddy the Autism Shark.
Autism Shark. So you do have a mascot.
We do.
What's the story behind the shark?
So Buddy is kind of my son's inspiration to the nonprofit. He was diagnosed as nonverbal, and he also has insomnia problems. So he goes to different sleep clinics. So my son is 4 now and is verbal, and he learned to speak through ocean documentaries. He started watching documentaries on sharks. So sharks were always such a big thing for my son. And Buddy was the first word he ever said because of the minions on Despicable Me. So when we wanted a mascot, we chose Buddy.
Just kind of made sense.
Yeah, it made sense for us.
That's
and
awesome.
So Buddy's been a fun little addition. We print out different shark activities and coloring pages for the kids at a lot of our events, and we tie in Buddy wherever we can.
Very nice. Is there anything else you'd like to talk to us about with your nonprofit?
We have a new subcommittee called Buddy's Inclusion Alliance, and the goal behind it is to create more socially inclusive community events. So we recently had one in April called Light It Up Blue. We had inflatables, and we had like 10 different nonprofit organizations partnering with us and doing activities with children. We had a DJ, we had Peanut the Clown, we had a whole lot of fun. So our goal is to create a few events like this a year where we can get disabled children and their typical peers in one area to have fun, engaging events and kind of break down those that stigma behind disability. So the Inclusion Alliance will be coordinating those events. Our next one is in October. We are having the Halloween Inclusion Palooza. We will have it at Ashland Central Park, and we have Batman coming, Wonder Woman coming, the Batmobile. We have 3 different inflatables set up, and we'll have trick-or-treating. And then the Inclusion Alliance also works with different businesses and organizations to help create sensory-friendly events and sensory hour. With back to school around the corner, having sensory-friendly shopping hour is a big deal. And in December, we helped the Paramount Arts Center with the Festival of Trees and Trains. They had a sensory-friendly hour that will be coming back this year.
Oh, that's super.
Yeah, it was exciting.
To become involved with the new organization there also presumably would be through Facebook.
Through email or Facebook.
And I know that if you're interested in seeing some photos of the recent events, the Facebook page is loaded to kind of show our folks what it's really all about.
Yes, we have some wonderful photos online. One of my personal favorites is we had a watermelon eating contest, and so there are lots of cute photos of kids diving into that.
Yeah, face first, literally.
Face first, so much cuteness.
Great. Well, Carly, we do appreciate you coming out today to speak with us about Buddy Sensory Exchange.
Thank you for
and
having me.
We'll have the Facebook page and contact information up on screen here. So for Armstrong, I'm Shane Finster. Make it a great day.